Vikram Phadnis started his career as a fashion choreographer in college before finding his calling as a fashion designer. His journey has been an inspiration to all those who want to make it big in the fashion industry. Vikram has had no formal training in fashion design, but he has risen to become India's leading fashion designer, winning multiple awards for his work, such as the IFA Award for Best Costume Design. His creations currently adorn the wardrobes of some of the biggest names in the fashion and film industry, such as Salman Khan, Amitabh Bachchan, and Kareena Kapoor.
I don't know whether how many people know, but I'm actually a student of science. My parents are doctors, and hence in this country it's obvious that the children have to take up what their parents do. At a point when today's kids still have the ability to speak their minds out and choose a career that is non-academic, but at that point of time when I branched out into the world of entertainment, it was understood that I would have to become a doctor, and so I started doing science. I just knew that I was unhappy in what I was doing, and it was not the chosen field that I wanted to make a career in. And hence I shifted from science to commerce, and I graduated being a commerce student. I haven't studied fashion. I haven't been to a fashion school. I never learned how to sketch because it was too late in my life to go to a fashion school. I'd already graduated being a commerce student. And while I was a student in commerce, I started choreography of fashion shows. Many people think that I've been a dance choreographer, but I've been a fashion show choreographer. So while I was doing my education and completing my degree in commerce, I started choreography as at an inter-college level. And at that point of time, I was told by a few people who were veterans in the fashion circuit that I should take this up professionally. And hence I started doing shows as a choreographer professionally, and directing shows for other designers, which means how the models walk, the stage, the light, the sound, the technical aspect of a fashion show is what I got into, and I did it for a couple of years. It just one thing snowballs into the other, and I think from being a fashion choreographer and a director, I started playing with fabric. I started doing clothes in smaller amounts and understanding what creativity in fashion meant, which means turning fabric into a finished garment. And I think my journey started then. So there was no conscious thought of changing from choreography to being a fashion designer, but I just think like I said, one thing snowballs into the other, and just playing with fabric and understanding what designers create while I was a choreographer helped me become a designer. I've been like in India, they always have this spring, summer, and winter. But I've never created my clothes according to two seasons. I've always created my clothes according to what I'm a designer for the commercial market. I design clothes according to my moods, according to what I feel at that point of time. Even in a festive period, if I feel I want to create black, I'll still create black, though black is not the in color of the season. Because there is nothing like in and out for me, and as far as colors and textures go, for the simple reason that these are a color palette is universal. I would like to, but there is a time in the summer I would want to create nice, bright, edgy colors, and sometimes in the winter I'd like to create the lighter color palette. So for me, a creative process begins on my mood. It begins on what I want to create and what I feel at that point of time. So for me, it starts from a drawing board. It starts putting fabrics together, creating embroidery samples, creating understanding what I want to show to the market, not what the market wants. And then I try and do a blend and a mix and balance of both. I think it's a give and take of both, because for the simple reason that most embroideries of the Western designers happen within this country, which very few people even know of. Like most brands abroad the really big labels come to our country to get the hand embroideries done, because there is nothing like the workmanship, of and the embroider craftsmanship of our country. So I think it's a give and take of both. They're influenced by our kind of fabrics, and I feel many a times our designers are influenced by the Western world about their cuts and their fabrics and their creativity. So I think it's a blend and a mix of both, that we adapt from the Western world and the Western world adapts from us. I think when I started 25 years ago, it was a different ball game. Fashion was a different ball game altogether. It was taboo for men to become fashion designers. Today, some of the most talented and some of the biggest names in the fashion industries are men. It all begins over here, and then I feel the infrastructure, the kind of machinery, the kind of exposure that designers have today is not what I had when we started off. I think we were a handful, 10 of us in the country, and today you have such great stylists, such great designers, budding talent, Gen Next designers who are creating waves all around the world. So I think starting from the basic, the yes and the no's of the taboos of the fashion industry and the entertainment industry, it starts there, to the infrastructure, to the give and takes, to the visibility, to the perks, to the money, to the name, fame, everything has changed. I don't know any other way besides people graduate from fashion schools. I feel even if you graduate from a fashion school but you don't have the passion and the drive to become one of the leading designers of the country or to market your talent, I think there is no use going to a fashion school. So I always feel going to school is different from understanding what you want out of that school. So for me, whether you go to a fashion school or you don't go to a fashion school, having the drive, the energy and the passion for the business of fashion is very, very important. I think it's great because of social media. I don't think there's anything negative. I just think sometimes it can be an overdose. But I just feel social media is creating awareness. Whether it's an Instagram, it's a Facebook, it's Twitter, it's whatever. It's instant knowledge worldwide. And I think what better than that? I mean, you've got to move ahead with technology. You've got to move ahead with what the world has to offer. And I think being in the creative field, marketing that is most important. And social media has just helped us. I think each one to his own. I do Indian clothes, I do hand embroideries. So for me, I derive a lot from Indian culture. People who do Western clothes, they have their inspirations, they have their motives, they have their embroideries. So what I create is basically Indian clothes. So for me, Indian fabrics, Indian embroideries, the art, the craftsmanship is most important. I think my work evolves every day. I think what I see yesterday and what I create today, there is a huge, difference. I think everyone evolves in whatever field that you do. Yesterday's job is, today's past. So I think if change is the essence of life, I think anything that changes is always there. But the change is important to grow bigger and better. The changes should take you ahead and should not regress you in time. I keep watching at Lakme Fashion Week and I keep watching at the other fashion this things, and I think there are loads of designers who really this thing. I will not be able to point out one name because they're there by the dozens. They're such great talent and they're great in their own sphere. But I think Sonakshi Raj is one good designer that I feel in times to come will be very, very good. I think not follow what others are trying to create, and have your own vision, have your own sensibilities is the most important advice. I think the Vikram Phadnis brand is Indian clothing, is luxury, is designer wear at an affordable price to the consumer, and I think it's comfortable and it's still very, very flamboyant and luxurious. I think setting up your own individuality is the most important. For designers who are just starting off, you don't get instant name, fame, you don't get instant recognition, money if you don't market that talent. You're supposed to market that talent, and there are various ways. So when somebody says, how does one get that infrastructure, you're supposed to build it up. Rome wasn't built in a day. You're supposed to do it step by step. And each one's journey is different. So I really can't sit here and give an advice and say, A plus B is equal to C, because then everybody would be, attaining C. So I think each one has to find their niche, each one has to find their calling, what makes them happy and how they can be successful. So I don't think there is a formula to success. Hi, this is Vikram Phadnis, and after a very long time being in the business of entertainment, I feel someone has come up with a unique idea, a concept like Banana Bandy. I think Banana Bandy is a vision by youngsters, by a group of people that will only make the world of entertainment, the world of creativity bigger and better. So keep following, keep understanding what Banana Bandy is here to offer. And I, for one, being in the business for 25 years, is definitely going to be a part of this beautiful brand, Banana Bandy.